Hello, my friend. Today is the next monster in the game Monster Hunter Wilds. This time, it's an unusual monster again, a leviathan named Hirabami. We will compete with Nercilla. We will talk about what to expect from this giant and how to deal with it. Hirabami is a leviathan with a peculiar body shape, similar to that of Somnicanth. Its body is mainly coloured a dark purple, with shades of cyan all throughout. Its head is pointy and covered in segmented plates, while its lower jaw can split in two. The inside of its mouth is brightly coloured, and it has two small white eyes that lack pupils. A large membrane begins from the sides of its head, running down the entirety of its long neck and ending at its shoulders. Each of its arms has a fin running from the elbow to the hand, and is tipped with a single sickle-shaped claw. Its back legs are small and thin, ending in flat pads. Its tail is thin at the base, but thicker at the end, and culminates in several pairs of clamping claws. Hirabami is noteworthy for its ability to levitate on the air without the need for wings, similar to Ibushi and Nawa, using the wind-catching membrane on its neck. It can also use the appendages at the end of its tail to hang from rock arches and cave ceilings. Finally, it can spit an icy projectile from its mouth that can freeze the hunter in place. They can be seen and fought in trios. Hirabami's head and neck are particularly vulnerable to bludgeoning. Hirabami is also vulnerable to severing and projectile damages, so you'll be able to use any weapon as long as it can reach you. Hirabami has two major weaknesses, fire and thunder. Fire is more powerful than thunder, since it has a 2-star weakness on its neck, head and tail. Thunder only has a 1-star weakness. Hirabami is weak to water and to dragon. It's also resistant to ice. Hirabami is a 3-star weakness in poison and sleep. So, prepare your sleep ammo and poisonous equipment. Hirabami is weak to blast, blight and exhaust, as well as paralysis. Hirabami, a monster with a high level of agility that spends most of its time flying around the arena in the air, is best fought using a weapon which has a long range. The monster's weak points can be targeted with light and heavy bowguns. Other weapons, such as the insect lance and glaive, are also effective. Earplugs is a useful skill against Hirabami. It prevents stuns. Frostblight is also an effect of this monster, so armor and decorations that have bind resistance are very helpful. Hirabami are a pack-based creature that travels and attacks in threes. You'll need to isolate your opponent before you begin. Due to their rapid and unpredictable movement, you'll want to use large dung pods. You can concentrate on your target by hitting 2 monsters at once with the poop. It is difficult to track this monster because of its ability to levitate. Hirabami is a creature that likes to dash around and will attack from behind, so keeping an eye on it is essential. After it attacks, the creature will often leave an opening to counterattack. Be patient and watch for these opportunities. Hirabami attacks primarily through its tail. Its 5 claws are breakable. The part breaker is particularly useful in this appendage, as it's where Harambe will likely end up taking the majority of its damage. You should attack the membrane that is attached to the head of the monster if you are looking to win this battle. The pouch holds the air that Hirabami needs to remain afloat. By destroying the pouch, you can slow down the monster and hit it more easily while it is airborne. After it is destroyed, adding more damage can make the monster fall from the sky. This gives you the chance to pile as much damage on the mouth, Hirabami's weakest part. This monster's vulnerability to damage from fire or thunder is not sufficient to justify the use of these elemental weapons. Once you've mastered its attacks, you can easily hunt this monster with your most damaging weapon. The best way to approach this is by going for the tail whenever you can. The Hirabami can use a frostblight from its head to freeze and stop you. Its weak roar will also stun you briefly. Hirabami tail claws are also obtained by hitting the tail. If you do it enough times, I think that the damage is reduced. You should aim for the head as it can be broken, and you will get Hirabami webbing. You must lower Hirabami's health in Monster Hunter Wilds if you wish to capture it. It's important to get it to 20% or lower. When a skull appears on your mini-map next to the icon of the monster, you know that you have reached this stage. You can then immediately start setting up traps. To capture the monster, I suggest using either a pitfall trap or a shock trap. Finally, I'll give you one more recommendation. In the story, you will meet this monster in a group of 3. To fight only one, you need to use a large dung pod or dung pod. As the name implies, this is an unpleasant-smelling substance made from dung. When you shoot the monster with this powder, it will run away to another location. In this way, you have to drive away 2 monsters and leave only one. Later, your target will also move to another location, and they can reunite again. You need to use the dung pod again to be alone. If you run out of this powder that drives away other monsters, pay attention to the icon that marks your quest monster and try to deal damage only to it, and just dodge the attacks of other monsters. It's not easy, I agree, but if you fight all 3 monsters, you may not have enough time to defeat them all. If you like the game Monster Hunter Wilds and want to see more interesting videos of this game, subscribe to my channel. Also, like the video, and I'll prepare a video of the next monster I meet in the game for you. If you have any questions about the game, leave a comment. We have a fairly well-developed community that will help you sort out the difficulties. I also recommend watching my previous video, where I showed how I defeated Nercilla. See you in Monster Hunter Wilds, my friend. There are still many different and interesting monsters ahead.